Another event has come and gone, but it seems the Serpent Moon has left something behind, hints at what the future holds. In particular, the upcoming boss. This will be a two-part video due to the amount of information I am about to lay out. You'll notice that the moon is a common theme, or rather entity, between this event, the Serpent Moon, and the previous one, the Traitor's Moon. The moon is an all-powerful entity worshipped by many. It has existed since way before the 300 years of the sculptor's apparent influence, but it would seem that it has only recently begun showing signs of heavy activity. The sculptor has always been a gradual curse against the moon, but Mr. Sherry's appearance left an even greater negative influence. The moon was attempting to establish communication, a cry for help, if you may. She did so through various bodies of water, such as ponds and lakes. These attempts ultimately resulted in drowned victims. But eventually, the moon had indeed found someone who responded to her cries. Kevin Linus, ironically with the help of Mr. Sherry, had become the moon's champion. And as the moon's champion, Kevin hunts Mr. Sherry. Quite some time passes until Kevin finally catches up to Mr. Sherry, and a lot has happened in the time Kevin took to grow. Throughout the Serpent Moon event, Kevin dies multiple times, no doubt at least in part due to the hunters and assassins Mr. Sherry hired to kill Kevin. We know of 3 such assassins: Hail Mary, Cersei Elias, and the Viper. All 3 are currently trapped in the King Snake mine along with Kevin. However, all 3 of them have switched sides and have become allies of Kevin instead. A moment of hesitation before making the kill allowed Kevin to reveal he hadn't ever killed anyone, despite the resistance Mr. Sherry deployed against him. Kevin's words, backed by a vision from the moon via the Viper's venom and fusion abilities, were enough to change the assassins' minds. Is this too much to be a coincidence? Perhaps Mr. Sherry's real goal was not to assassinate Kevin, but to trap them all in the King Snake mine? Besides, what good would assassinating Kevin do if he is brought back to life by the moon each time he dies? From Kevin's own words, we know he is unable to rest until the moon herself can rest. We can safely assume Kevin is immortal, at the least for the time being. There is one other trapped in the mine, Ira Ozols. She was Isaac's Power's faithful follower and never left his side. Isaac, also known as the Night Seer, gathered his followers, including Ira, by showing them a portion of his visions. Visions of a world turned upside down, whatever that means. However, once Mr. Sherry shared the remainder of Isaac's visions with Ira, this seemed to have made her into Isaac's enemy. Weirdly enough, it's Mr. Sherry himself who saved Isaac from being stuck in the mine with Ira and the others. Seems he still needs Isaac for something, at least for now. He probably got rid of Ira to weaken Isaac. I guess it's one less person to deal with when Isaac is no longer useful to Mr. Sherry. Or perhaps he needed Ira trapped in the mines. Or maybe both. Mr. Sherry is turning out to be an extremely duplicitous personality. He fits right into the chaotic evil psychopath category. It is never clear what motivates his actions. In Traitor's Moon, he was conducting experimental rituals related to the moon. Now, in Serpent's Moon, he has suddenly become obsessed with sacrificing snakes. I'd like to hear your thoughts regarding the matter in the comment section below. As I've mentioned earlier, the Viper was one of the assassins Mr. Sherry hired to assassinate Kevin. An interesting individual, that one. Up until the age of 7, the Viper was a wild child. The parents both merchants could not get through to their own child due to his tantrums. They didn't even manage to impart the use of a few basic words. At 7 years of age, the Viper encountered a snake, a steep viper. This snake is how the Viper managed to stay calm, and their symbiotic relationship is how they got their name. It is also how their mentor scouted them out to raise as assassins. Snakes, unfortunately, do not live as long as humans do. So when Mr. Sherry contacted the sinners to hire an assassin in exchange for a secret to prolong the snake's life, predictably, the Viper agreed to do the job. Was it a complete lie? An easy way to manipulate an expert assassin's weakness for them to do your bidding for free? But once the deed is done, Mr. Sherry would end up on the receiving end of not only the Viper's wrath, but also the whole Sinner Collective. Unless Mr. Sherry does not expect the Viper to survive the encounter. And I'll remind you that it's pointless to try and kill Kevin, as he will simply be resurrected. On the topic of the mine, what is this snake mine where everybody is trapped in? Let's leave that for the next video, part 2 of Serpent Moon.